I wanted to come to you because I am so excited. I rarely come to you when I'm excited about something. It's usually because something has pissed me off or I've seen injustice somewhere. But I'm so excited because I'm just starting to do research on my book, um, how to be redefining capitalism without white supremacy, the economics of anti-racist. And many of you know that I've said over and over again, you don't know, but I've said over and over again that I am a historian and a researcher. So when people say capitalism everything that's happening now is the fault of capitalism, I don't agree with that. I just fundamentally don't agree with that because when I look at the theory of capitalism, it just talks about private ownership, and that's where wealth comes from. And so I have this theory because even when what really triggered this one was when we were as a group reading How to Be Anti-Racist as a part of the podcast, and Dr. Ibram Kendi espouses or promotes an anti-racist, anti-capitalist. And so the question that kept coming to mind is there such a thing as an anti-racist capitalist? I don't know if we've even looked at that for people to just throw that out. It's a hypothesis, it's like um, because to me, when I look at socialism, when I look at communism, when I look at capitalism, when I look at Marxism, they're all rooted in white supremacy because white people decided what the rules are going to be. And so I just starting my research. So I was like, you know what? As a historian, let me go back to the person who literally wrote the book on this, Adam Smith, who wrote the book, The Wealth of Nations. So I'm watching this documentary about him and his work, and I am just like lighting the fuck up. I am so lighting the fuck up because I wasn't gonna share any of this with you right away, just because I wanted to um, a researcher, educator, wanted to put some thoughts together. But I'm so excited, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take you along on this journey with me. So some of these lives that I'll be doing are gonna be hashtag called scene, but it's gonna be some of it is just gonna be how the book is coming together, how this research is coming together. Because what hit me, what really got me going right now is so I'll watch some stuff and then it'll trigger questions in my mind, and so I'll ask these questions. And I'm on the part of the documentary when they're talking about the East India Company. So if you don't know the East India Company, please do your research because let me tell you, when I was in school, they glossed over the East India Company. They just said it was a big company that they brought teas from India and da 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 da. Well, it was actually a monopoly. And another thing that really that the reason why I wanted to go back to Adam Smith because Adam Smith is thinking about economics at the same time that the American Revolution is about to take place and it does take place. So and the founding fathers are using Adam Smith's theories and research to make choices and decisions about how the United States was going to be governed. So it feeds into it. And they chose to fundamentally build an economic system based on the enslavement of Africans and the annihilation of indigenous people. So there you go. But this hit me. It says Smith denounced the East India Company as a blood-stained monopoly, burdensome, useless, and responsible for grotesque massacres in Bengal. And that's in India. This is the point. Its managers and officers became incredibly wealthy, but the company itself was never very profitable. So my question is, hmm, what modern examples do we have of unprofitable companies that create wealth for founders and investors? So it's like I keep telling people the reason everybody's so shocked about Trump is because you don't know your history. You think that he just dropped out of the sky in 2016. No, this stuff, what we're seeing now, I can attribute to what was put in place with the Powell memo. And if you have not read the Powell memo, Powell. Please read the Powell memo. Powell actually became a Supreme Court justice, but read the Powell memo, and he wrote that in 1970. And so we're talking about 1773 when Smith was writing The Wealth of Nations. And these are the things that he saw already. So it's not like this is new. The companies, the WeWorks, the Theranos, the Ubers, the Lyfts, these companies have yet to make a profit, but they are making a whole shitload of profit for other people. So I'm just really just loving to be able to connect history to to um the present. And one of the questions that I really is going to connect me to um the anti-racist piece is because William Smith, even in all his egalitarian and his talking about just economics, when he talks about the average human being, so he says, this displays a striking faith in the average human being. If we just give you some space and to protect your basic rights, you can figure out how to improve your own life. We don't have to do things for you. We just have to stop doing bad things against you. And so my question then becomes, who did Smith see as the average human being? And my next question is, it appears that all is here to create a just economic system only if the average human being is inclusive. Would this take just a simple reimagining? So I see the pieces there. Because when we're talking about 1773, um, the average human he had to be talking about were white men, because that's the only people in society that could do anything. So that left out women and anybody else, people of color. So I'm really excited. So I got to figure out a way to spend part of my summer in the UK, specifically. Um, Thank you for sharing that. Specifically with it in Glasgow, Scotland, where he started his research. Because another part of this is he wrote a book before that called The Theory of Moral Sentiments. So he was specifically researching the morality of economics, and then he talks about wealth. So the stuff is there. So yes, so I got to figure out a way to spend some time this summer in Glasgow, Scotland, and in London to do some research. So I'm very excited, and I wanted to share that. And I will be coming to you and sharing parts of this journey, so you can see how this book unfolds. So have a wonderful day.